Good afternoon. Well, you have your frustrations and I have mine. I've had a little trouble getting my iMovie to work here in the last 20 minutes, but I'm up and running now. And I'm glad to be able to talk to you. I wish I could just sit down in my living room with you, or you invite me to your living room. But anyway, it's good to be here and to chat with you today. I got the uh, last of assignments 4-1 and 4-2 graded before lunch today, or before I took lunch. It was a little late, but anyway, that's accomplished. I know that many of you are concerned with Turabian, and I understand one of you said it was frustrating and confusing, and I understand that issue. I'll give you just a little bit of personal experience so you know don't think I'm just rattling. When I did my dissertation, one of the members of my committee was the librarian, and he was absolutely intense on saying, if I find 3 errors in your paper, you have to start all over. Those errors could be like using the wrong pronoun, which instead of who. It could be a spelling, a grammar, or a Turabian mistake. So that did not put the fear of God in my heart, but it put the fear of Him in my heart. But I made it the first attempt, so that's the success story. You'll learn it, and I hope that you'll look at that link in that September 2 announcement for Turabian. You can also go online and just Google Chicago or Turabian. Turabian was the librarian at University of Chicago for years, and there's an owl linked to Chicago, and it's so similar that it's a little more elaborate than the example that I posted there in the September link. I'll look that up and I'll put it in the announcement. A second thing I wanted to chat with you about is the school routine. It was a few years between my bachelor's degree before I began my master's degree at Dallas, and it was a challenge for me to get back into the routine of studying, and taking Hebrew and Greek was not a simple matter, or to take a history of Israel from a genius. But I made it through. But then it was, well, around 20 years before I started working on my doctorate. And I really had to pull up myself by the bootstraps and pray hard and work hard and get my wife to encourage me to get going. But once I got into it, I was able to make it. And here we are. We've almost to complete 5 weeks of 7. And overall, you're doing well. And I want to encourage you in that. As I've read your 32 papers on the 2 assignments this week, I've been so encouraged, and I think I've said it to 2 or 3 of you, that it looks like a sermon. And the more I've read your papers, the more I become convinced that as I have the opportunity to fill the pulpit someplace, that it would be a good topic for me to talk about, to discern between the true prophet of God, the true spokesman of God, and the false prophet. And we have so many false prophets today. Very sad and pathetic. Length of papers. I notice that some of you are very diligent to try to keep it onto 2 pages, and that's just fine. But I'm not overly concerned about that. If you go over a little bit, that's just fine. Just don't give me a 10-page paper for a 2-page paper. But I do want to say that in some of your master's classes that you take, you may have a professor who says, if the paper says 2 pages, and if you write more than that, you're going to get penalized. I'm a little more relaxed than that. So, as we wrap up week 5, we have 1 assignment and some reading to take care of, a little bit of breathing room for you. And I just want to urge you with all my heart to walk with Christ. Let Him shine through and work in you for His glory, and let Him be the one who is really king of your life in every aspect of your life. So, you have a great weekend of worshiping with God's people. I have a wonderful privilege of being able to speak in the church where I spent my first 18 years learning to know Jesus and love Him and to walk in His ways. That's an exciting opportunity for me. God bless you.